Emanuele from Sunrise Tours in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Emanuele, welcome.
Hi. How are you doing?
Oh, we're good. We're good here. I bet it's warmer in Ethiopia than it is here, for sure.
Yeah, really. Today I was driving until little time before, and I was reading before meeting you. I had to change my my clothes. It's really hot at this time. At lunchtime is very hot.
Yeah. So we started working with you in sort of end of 2019, and then we all know what happened with the pandemic and everything. So we haven't really had the chance to introduce you to a lot of operators in the UK and in Europe. So why don't you just tell people a little bit about Sunrise Tours, what you do in Ethiopia, and
okay. So I am Emanuele Ragni. So I come from Italy. But it's since long that I left my country. I have been I had a long experience in Spain, and then it's since 13 years ago that I am living in Ethiopia. Since the very first time I started working as a tour operator and operating tours all around Ethiopia. Initially, I was with a different tour operator, and after like 6 years, I started to work by myself, and I joined in a joint venture with Jakob Melaku, which is my partner at Sunrise, and we kept going on operating tours of any kind. But especially what I really feel very confident is to say that we can give really another value on tailor-made tours. Ethiopia is a wonderful country. I am here just because I came to Ethiopia and I fell in love with the country. Okay, nothing else.
I know George came out, was it end of 2019 or beginning of 2020? And he was blown away. I mean, he's lived in East Africa most of his life, and of course he's used to the big game and everything. And when he came to Ethiopia, he's like, the country's it's so beautiful. The culture's so rich. The history is phenomenal. You see things that you don't see anywhere else in the world. So, yeah. From what he said,
I remember very well one very nice sentence of him. He said, "I thought I knew Africa, but after I get to know Ethiopia, so I understand there was something more in Africa still I didn't know." And this speaks quite about of the country, because Ethiopia is of course very well known that is the only non-colonized country in Africa, and you feel this at any single step you move in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I mean, in the good thing, because it's really very authentic experience. You find a bunch of history that is completely different from everything that you find in Africa.
So after the sort of lockdowns and everything, there seemed to be a little bit of a problem, civil war, was it?
Yes. We were troubled by the civil war and the COVID together. COVID really didn't strike too much here. It was really much more significant the impact of the civil war happened in the north of the country, and that really bothered us for a couple of years. But now we can really start to say that we are quite out of it.
Did the civil war affect you in any way, being in Addis Ababa, or you didn't see?
Not really. It was, I mean, there have been just a moment that was affecting a bit the life in the capital city, but mostly was like a regional war, because everything was happening in the Tigray region and around. In Addis, we kept living and in a normal way all the time long. And I remember even after this call for evacuation was done, I was receiving my mother and my sister in Addis, and we had a wonderful trip in the south during that time, because everything was completely peaceful in that time, unless, of course, the northern region. Nowadays, things have been fixed, and there have been a peace deal signed by both parts of the Ethiopian government and the regional Tigray government, that were the two parts in 5. And it was somehow a sudden peace agreement, but things are now smooth. And of course, the Tigray region, unfortunately, is badly affected in all its infrastructures. And so it's not possible to imagine to travel there in a near future.
So for people who aren't so familiar with the Tigray region, what does that cover? Of the sort of more famous sites or areas that you visit in Ethiopia, which of those fall within Tigray?
Tigray region, it's including Aksum is the most outstanding place that you can visit, and there is this big obelisk that were erected in the 4th century, in the 2nd and 3rd century there. And then there are the rock-hewn churches of Geralta, which was also a really interesting activity for trekkers. But all these areas are not available to be visited. When we operate the tours, very fast tours in Ethiopia for the north, we don't use to include Aksum even. We just make Bardar, Gondar, and Lalibela, which are the 3 main hotspots of the northern route. So these places are perfect. They can be visited without any problem currently.
Okay.
Even we can add the Simien National Park.
So we've got an FCO advisory. I've got it here that says there's all but essential travel to the whole of the Tigray region. So that means I can still do an itinerary in the north of Ethiopia. Can I? I can do Lalibela, Gondar, Bahir Dar, Simien Mountains don't fall in that region. So that's still safe to travel to those regions?
Yes, it's safe. Especially we have the internal flights are resuming with a normal frequency. Okay. So you can fly there are 4 or 5 flights to Bardar, 3-4 flights to Gondar, 1 daily flight to Lalibela, and now is about to resume the daily flight between Gondar and Lalibela, which is quite crucial for operating a comfortable tour in the north. We are lobbying somehow, and we're trying. There are several stakeholders that are in a good contact with the UK embassy in Ethiopia, that is the one supposed to inform and give a feedback about this advisory, and I think it will improve soon. In our experience, I can tell you, is since October that we started to receive some international tourists, and everybody went without any kind of problem, even any kind of sensation of trouble, tension, no much military presence around. So,
has the way you operate changed? Are there some roads that are no longer good to travel on? I know in some places that we represent, over lockdown, without any work on roads and things, roads have deteriorated, so it's better to fly than it is to drive. Is Ethiopia like that, or is it still easy to just drive around?
Yes, as I commented you, is right now I would really recommend to fly directly from Addis to Bardar or Lalibela, because the roads have got some damage, and so there is still some work going on. We can fly, enjoy Bardar, Gondar, Simien Mountains, Lalibela with no hassle, and then fly back to Addis. Addis is the capital of Africa. We just celebrated the AU summit, and we received, I think, more than 50 head of states here in Addis. So, of course, if things were not calm and safe, no state in Africa would send this head of state there.
This is true, but I know Ethiopia does have a fantastic flight network, both domestically and internationally. You've got sort of hubs or flights coming in from almost everywhere nowadays.
Yeah. Ethiopian Airlines developed an amazing network, and this is giving a big movement to the country.
Yeah, well, we're excited. We're excited that everything is now calm. We're excited for you as well. And let's hope that 2023 is the year that Ethiopia is back on the map, big time.
Yes, I really believe so. And of course, Ethiopia with this unicity is really a destination to be considered now.
Yeah, no, I think so. Either as a destination in its own right, but also with your connecting flights can make a really nice little 2 or 3 day layover just to get a taste of it as well. So
yeah, this is possible. For example, in 2 or 3 days, you can get a test of Addis Ababa plus Lalibela, which would be a really charming option.
Hopefully, everyone knows who Emanuele is now. Everyone knows who Sunrise Tours is, and hopefully, Ethiopia, here we come. All right, Emanuele.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, great. Ciao.